So, welcome back to the Tuscan Urban Farmstead, and today it is all about decoupage again. So, we've been cutting out all of this from wallpaper as usual. I hope that the lighting is good this time. And now we are proceeding to get it really wet because, of course, being because of how thick this paper is, we really have to put it on like double levels. Let me just turn off. There we go. Been boiling the water for tea. So then you cover. So this tin can is from cookies, from Danish cookies, and we've painted it. We've given it 2 coats of acrylic paint, and then we've added on a bit of silver, kind of like giving it that like sponge effect, not exactly sponge effect, like with the tip of the paintbrush. So now we're just gluing this one on, kind of central. I'm so happy this color is beautiful. I just love the effect of that color on this. So here's the big tin can, and then of course, like every time you coat it, anytime you give the your items one hand of coating, you want to be using your Mod Podge to be coating it over and over again as well. Like to keep it as even as possible as well. So now we're just going to put this to one side and let it dry off. Look at that. I hope the lighting isn't too crazy. It is making a lot of shimmer right there, but so we're just going to let this one dry off a bit like that. Put it right there so it can dry off. And then we're picking up. I'm thinking at this point, instead of using the other wallpaper, I'm going to be going along with this same wallpaper for this. Like, it's 2 different kinds of things. This is more grungy old kind of stuff. I mean, the shine came pretty well. I'm going to have to finish putting the coating on this side. Underneath, I want to leave the cork so that I can actually like flip it over and use this part for the hot pots and pans. But I'm thinking that at this point I'm really liking the effect of these flowers more than I am liking the effect of these other ones, right? So I don't know exactly. For now, I think I'll just go ahead with that idea. I mean, it is like this can as well. Not too sure about it, then I'm afraid the video isn't picking up on the lighting properly because of the way the light is coming in through the window behind me as well. Right now, I hope it's going to come out nice enough. Let's see. That's quite a difference. 2 completely different effects that would be. I'm thinking I'm going with the thinner paper. This one is like If this one is a double paper, double thickness, this one is like 4 times as thick as that one. So yes, we want to be creating some kind of decoration that will look nice, like create a whole series of similar products practically. So that's a lot of, like, just cutting out that much. This much cutouts took me 2 evenings work. I mean, we'll say 2 evenings work, but it's like while you're sitting in front of the television, instead of watching the television, you listen to the television and you keep snippeting away at the paper. I did this all with scissor cutouts. That's great for all along the side here. So I think we're just going to keep on going with this right now, so that we can get a better idea of what it is we need to be working on. Let's first bring together the whole big tin, and then I'll move forward. I'll move forward on the other ones later. Alrighty, so here we go again. It's a little bit harder working on the sides. So just put that like upright like that. Then first I'll do the back side of this. That's too high, you see. That might be just right, actually. Might be just right, because then the lid, when I put it on, is going to come down to this level here about. Yeah, so that's just right. Let me see you. This one is way too high. That's too high. Can't work like that. So this piece is going to have to come off. Let's see. This piece is going to have to either come off. Yeah, we'll do it that way. There you go. This will go elsewhere. I'll use that somewhere else. This one's okay. And this one's okay as well. Pretty much. Let's see. Just give that a straight cut. Much better. So here we go. Hope you can see that. Fit it in there. Right along the rim. And press it down. Perhaps this Mod Podge, if that's the way you call it, is a little bit too thick actually. I'm probably going to have to water it down a little bit more. I'll see. It is really thick, so that takes longer to penetrate into the paper, and it also becomes stickier much earlier. Sticky much earlier than usual. So here we go. Put that right along here. There. you just dab it down. And every now and then you have to go back over it to make sure, because it starts turning upwards. So every now and then you have to go back and press it all down again. This work really requires a lot of attention and presence. Otherwise, if you let it dry without watching it, you're going to find yourself with a huge mess that all is fit to be doing with it afterwards is taking it all down and starting all over again. So, there you go. There you go. Let's just pick this piece up again, put that down to dry for a little bit, and just check. See, like here, you want to be slanting it just enough so that you can see. Like, I'm looking at it this way to see where pieces might have risen up, curled, or if there's any bubbles of air trapped underneath there. So that looks pretty okay. Put it back and let it relax for a bit. Now we'll pick this one up again and find another. See, there you go. Here's another piece which has been cut off a straight line on one side, so oops, there you go. Just noticed that I didn't cut everything out here properly. So you just go back in and cut that little triangle out. So let's get back to it. Mod Podge. All right. You do want to get it as wet as possible the first time around, and then just keep monitoring it throughout as it dries off. So that you can keep fixing it. Now the glue on my fingertips is starting to dry off, so I'm going to have to get rid of that. Otherwise it's going to start making a mess if I happen to touch the paper, stick to the paper and rip up the paper. Then you have to start all over again. And you really don't want to end up doing that. It becomes the never-ending story otherwise. Another thing I try to do is like give some sense to the brushes, like a little bit of where it almost looks like it's been painted on there. I am no refined artist, never pursued my artistic flares, so to speak, like as far as painting and drawing goes. I was pretty good when I was going to school, but you know how it is in life. You give precedence to one thing and the rest, that, as we said, that is way too high, right? It might work, actually. It might work. So should we try it or should we dump it? I'd say I'll give it a try. I'll give it a try. So I'll give it a try a little bit further over here. Then I just don't want to risk there. I don't want to risk sticking the other side of the tin can to the tray here. That would be a real mess. Oops. There you go. So, dab a lot of that on there. Hoopla! I knew it. Don't you dare. Yeah, I really should be wearing an apron to be doing this kind of work, but you know me. Very rarely do I dress for this kind of stuff. That's another thing. I've been selecting some of my nicer clothes, but which might have some kind of problem to them, so that I can't really be wearing them out anymore. But if for cleaning up your house, staying home, everything, you dress up nice, just think how that translates into the quality of the work at the house, you do around the house, you know? If you're dressed from head to toe and if you're dressed from head to toe properly, wearing nice suits, nice outfits, stuff you care about, actually, stuff you really like. Of course, this isn't for everyone, but some people, you just might find that the joy of doing the housework and the quality of your housework up levels somehow. Kind of makes me laugh because there was this one restaurant, pizzeria, discotheque I used to work at, and sorry, I'm not really showing you too much of the work I'm doing, am I? Anyhow, I was working at this one restaurant, pizzeria, discotheque, arcade. It was so many things in one. Pretty huge place. And the problem was that the cleaning service that was coming in to do the cleanups was doing a really horrible job. Like every time we would come back, we would come in to be starting work in the restaurant, we would have to, like, they would leave the chairs up on the tables for us to take down, because like after they mopped the floor, and when we would take those chairs down, practically we would have to clean the tables again and sweep the floors again, because there was stuff like ash trays spilled on the chairs, or hiding on the table, and cigarette butts and everything. And so at one point I just said to the boss, I said, hey, if you pay me just $200 more a month, I'll take care of the cleaning as well. And so, like, of the discotheque, like, if you just have all of us stay after the restaurant closes down and each one cleans up their department, instead of leaving everything a huge mess, like, that was just insane to me, that you could, how can you have a restaurant and not clean up after yourself when you close in the evening? How can you do something like that? I mean, it's obvious that you're going to be attracting rats to the place. Rats and other critters that you don't want around your restaurant. And so, anyhow, I said, hey, all we have to do, I said, how much do you pay these ladies? I said, well, listen, don't even tell me how much you pay them. I'll make a deal with you. us cooks and waiters, when the shift ends, we just stay. With the shift ends, we are also in charge of, we also take care of cleaning the whole place up. And as far as the discotheque goes, I'll take care of cleaning it every weekend. Like, the discotheque was open Friday and Saturday evenings. I said, I'll take care of cleaning that one up, the whole discotheque up as well, for $200 extra a week. So apparently the deal was great for him. The cleaning ladies were asking for a hell of a lot of money and for the shitty job they were doing. And anyhow, what happened was one day he came in. It was a Saturday afternoon and I was cleaning up the discotheque. And he was just rolling over in laughter because he said, I always thought it was only in certain kind of films that you would see a woman in high heels and a miniskirt doing the cleanups. Well, actually what I was wearing was my outfit from a previous job. I kept wearing that outfit at all other jobs as well. It was one pub where we normally would wear, well, initially we would wear a black mini dress during the week, a blue one, a black mini dress during the week, a blue mini dress on Saturday night, and a red mini dress on Sunday night. Mainly because wearing a red mini dress on Saturday night would have been a little bit too much, especially back in the 90s. But would have been asking for trouble back in the 90s. Although one of our bosses really wanted us to dress up in that sheer top with just two hearts covering the front. Like, no, this ain't Hooters. Sorry. No. Or whatever the name of that pub is in the States. I get mixed up at times. Anyhow. But really, part of cleaning up your house, dressed nice, dressed properly, of course, you want to be wearing comfortable clothes, but whoever said that comfortable had to be ugly? Or comfortable had to look like you're, no, someone working down at the shipyard, right? Or worse, there's this one area, there's this one area down here in the valley where I live, where the ladies the ladies of the neighborhood all wear a yellow tracksuit on Sundays when they're doing their cleanups. It's like, hey, it's almost as if they agreed on how we should dress up for people driving through our neighborhood to see that we are doing our house cleaning. Hey, how about everyone dress up like Calimero, excuse me, like what you call it? A little chick, all wearing their yellow jumpsuits or whatever you want to call them. You know, the kind for doing gymnastics, for going and having a run around the corners, around the neighborhood, show off. Anyhow, it's just like, gosh. Gosh. Let's have a little flair in there, people. Okay, I'm just rambling as I go. See how that comes out? We got one little part to go. And let me just check out this one again. Hey, right, let me check out this one again. Looks like it's all okay. There, that's a little bit poofy. Right there in the middle. Just a little bit poofy. But otherwise, it's looking really nice. There you go. There you go. So let's see who else we can put on here. None of these. I'll put you in right here then. There you go. Let me just see who keeps on bothering me with messages. Papa, yes. We thought so. I find it so interesting how people will do certain things. I find the lack of integrity of so many people to be not even astounding anymore. You cannot. People who surprise me are people who show up with integrity, not people who make excuses, make up clumsy, flimsy excuses not to follow through on stuff, and then turn around and follow through on that same stuff with someone else. Gang stalking is what it is, and there's really not much you can do about it, especially not if it's at certain levels, not when it's carried out at certain levels. But you know, it's kind of sad, but what you gonna do about it? It's pretty pointless to call people out on their behavior. An honest person would never do that kind of stuff. Where was it? I wanted to put this one in right here. There you go. You know how they say, don't talk about this, don't talk about that. Don't bother people with with your opinions. All fine and good for those who can actually split their personality like that. Me, I ain't one of them. I'm not one of those people who can split their personality like that. It's about splitting up your personality. It really is. It's not about bon ton or anything. It's about tiptoeing around people and not being able to speak the truth to one another, and not having any true respect for the level of intelligence of other people. If you cannot stand to hear someone say something, they're just saying it, they're just talking about it. If you cannot stand to have a conversation with someone who has a different opinion than you, guess who the weak one is? Personally, I find that by protecting you from your own failure to process your feelings is not helpful to anyone. And it's enabling your weaknesses, actually. I mean, of course, violent threats, insults, snarky, putting people down is a huge no-no. I'm talking the capability of simply sharing your opinions saying, that's interesting, and actually pondering the matter, actually investigating the matter, and then only afterwards, like sometimes it's really nothing you want to be investigating at all to begin with because you've already made up your mind about it. But even when you've made up your mind about something, to keep on saying, let me just revise that thing one more time, right? Because unless you're capable of constantly revising, sometimes when you revise your opinion, sounds like we got company. Alrighty, so that's the new neighbor coming in. And so I'm a bit worried about her because she's relying so much on the family members of the very people who made life a living hell for me here. Of the very people who were coming to cause me trouble here. But what am I going to do about it? It's not like I can step in or anything. And I'm pretty sure that she already knows all about their gossip towards me, whatever. So we shall see what happens next. Don't fret about it. Don't worry about it. You see, that's the thing. When you can speak to any and everyone and treat them just the same level of respect, same level of everything, even if you don't agree on them, that's when you truly have the so longed for personal power. As long as you're a snowflake, sorry, you ain't got no power. You melt at the slightest provocation. You melt at the slightest disagreement. What shall we do? Shall we put this one on? It's kind of a, I don't know. Let's see. So I'm going to go against my own teaching here and just stick this one in like that. No! So no, I don't like you here. Move. Alright, let me do it this way. So I will move you further back and you right in there. So I just went against my own teaching just right now in front of all of you. I put a dry one on and I stuck it in there and I'm just patting it down like this. Just gonna have to keep watch on it, that it doesn't mess anything up later. Then you have to really be able to press down on everything so that you manage to kind of sort of get those little bubbles out. Looks like it's coming along really nicely though. So here we go. who else shall we put in here? Let's have a look. There we go. That one looks pretty interesting to me. Now let's see, I need to pull this little corner off. So, oh, it looks like it's made on purpose for that. Putting a lot right under it. And just put this right on top again. Lift this a little bit up, push that slightly underneath, and put the top on. There you go. And then just pat it back down. So, here, I'll just give it a coating of Mod Podge on the bottom as well. I shall see if it's the case to be putting any flowers on the bottom of this as well or not. I don't think so, though. So. All right. I got lazy here. I didn't take the, I did not take the, what you call it, the label with all the ingredients off. I just painted over it directly. So, just paint it over it directly. Every now and then you give it a twirl to have a look at who's coming up, where the paper's curling backwards again. Go and press it all down again. It's not going to hurt to give it more. It's not going to hurt to give it more than one coating. Actually, that's probably what's going to make it even more resistant. And I have a ball when these things, I just love it when after a while that I've done the work on it, I'll have to put it this way now. After a while that I've done the whole work on it, how I come back some years later and has this beautiful natural craquelé effect where it's all cracked up. All of the covering has cracked up. And now I get to play the game we used to play when we were in the elementary school. Get glue all over your fingers and then peel it all off. Okay, so that's all for now. I'm going to let this dry off. I'm going to get back to cutting out more pieces, preparing the cutouts both for you and for my online shop. You will be able to order these. Not too many. There's going to be a very limited stock, but you will be able to order already cut out parts and or like a whole sheet of paper, the original one. See, this came together with this, right? So you'll be able to order also the whole sheets of paper, and shipping. I'm getting all of that organized for as soon as possible, and we'll be posting it on my store, wherever my store will be. I'm not too sure of that yet. We shall see. So that's all for now from the Tuscan Urban Farmstead, and have a great day.